PWF Empire is live. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We got a lot of stuff to discuss as we head into SummerSlam. We just witnessed over these last 2 days the go-home shows for SmackDown and Raw. We'll be talking about the big stuff from those tonight. And who are we? Jay, along with Steven, Evan, and Lucas. Now, we're going to try this again because we did this 2 weeks ago, and I don't know what the hell happened, but there was like some unnecessary commotion. So, Lucas, I'm going to give you an opportunity once again. Which world title scene are we going to talk about first? I need you to be decisive, straight to the point.
Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, it's a trap. He's going to say that's not a world title.
It is a world title.
I wasn't even going to say that, but since you brought it up, Steven, I guess there's not much of a choice here since there only is one world championship in WWE. Well, no, because the way that I see it, that championship isn't technically in WWE yet, so maybe we do have a bit of wiggle room here. So I guess we could talk about Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler first. So on SmackDown, they met in a Miz TV segment that kicked off the show. It kicked off the show, right?
Yes.
If memory serves me correctly. Yeah, it kicked off the show, and Dolph Ziggler attempted to kick Dean Ambrose's head off of his face. And that sounds like a very complicated thing to do. I don't know how you could do it, much less if you could succeed at it. But, yeah, he attempted to do that in the opening segment of the show. And, you know, there are some other things that he attempted to do. WWE attempted to give some big final sell for this match. So what were you guys thinking about Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler, the state of the feud as we head into SummerSlam?
I'm a lot more excited for this than I thought I would be. Way more excited than the other shit that's going on Raw.
Why is that even necessary?
It is necessary.
I don't understand why that's necessary.
Well, because it's to antagonize the audience, of course.
There are other ways that you could, I guess, based
like
off
this?
of things that you usually do. Damn it, there we go. Anyway.
No, it's not to antagonize the audience. It's just, I don't know. I didn't expect this to be that good, and your video once again. I don't know why you keep putting out these videos because you say basically everything that can be said about it, right? But it's a very good video because you captured why I like it so much. The authenticity of this feud is really refreshing, and it's something that you don't have from the other feud. The other feud is like cartoon land over there. So I'm not saying this is great or anything because it's not great, but I like watching it. I like this promo. I think Dolph Ziggler probably listened to Austin more than Ambrose did because he felt like he had a bit of an edge on him.
And isn't that kind of crazy, though?
It's kind of crazy, yeah.
Well, yeah, he said it to Dean Ambrose, but there was a bit of fire in Dolph Ziggler on SmackDown. And I have to say that WWE, they really surprised me with the storytelling in this feud. And criticize when necessary, give credit where credit is due. We know WWE, they could do some funky BS when it comes to them telling these Cinderella stories. But with the integrity that they've had in telling the story of Dolph Ziggler and not shying away from exactly who he is and his current standing in the pecking order in WWE, I really do appreciate the story that they're telling, and I actually enjoy it. Just like Steven, a whole hell of a lot more than I thought I was going to enjoy it.
Steven, you said this isn't great, but I think it's been perhaps the greatest feud in the world title picture all year, to be quite honest with you, because...
Well, I don't remember the other ones.
I mean,
well, it wasn't Roman Reigns and AJ Styles, so nah.
No, that one was better.
Whoa. Don't even open those can of worms. But anyway...
yeah, but I'm going to open it and then I'll close it right back quickly. I fucking hate how people don't give Roman... We have all of this bullshit going around talking about what Roman Reigns should be and how he should be. Nobody is going to acknowledge the fact that was not only the perfect characterization of Roman Reigns, but that was the best world title feud in WWE in years. And yeah, I said,
well, I don't know
years.
about that.
More people
I don't know about that. I agree with the first part of what you said.
It was the best one of 2016. Yes.
Maybe of 2016.
I think
the year's not over
maybe we
yet.
could have that conversation
by the end of the year.
We should have that conversation on December 31st or
No, I'm not even
January
saying
1st.
for like I'm not worried about that part. I'm worried about what Steven is saying when he says that I'm wondering what he would rank above that one over these last few years in WWE. So
Well, it depends how far you want to go back, but we'll talk about that another time.
But back to Ambrose and Ziggler here, I just haven't gotten this emotion and this fire between two opponents in a world title scene in a very, very long time. And I like the intensity, I like the emotion and the passion being shown. It feels like a legitimate world championship feud in the sense that in the old times how they did things, the contenders and the champions would both have to, rival each other and basically show who's the man. And that's what this feud has been showing us. I haven't gotten that out of WWE in quite some time. And even, with that feud we just mentioned there between Roman Reigns and AJ Styles, to me, this has the potential to be better because it's going to prolong itself after SummerSlam. And I just think that this feud has brought out the best in both men from week one. They've been consistent in telling a story, making it personal. And, man, I mean, Dolph Ziggler he transformed. He was a complete badass this past week on SmackDown, and so was Ambrose. And it's hard to tell who has the darker side right now because both guys are really showing a mean streak that I've never seen in WWE before. I
don't know
in their
what are you
previous
talking
years.
about. I mean, I liked it, but what are you talking about? Badass mean streak? I don't remember that.
You don't think Ambrose has shown mean streak?
yeah, he's shown a mean streak because it's necessary.
He's
it's
shown a lot
necessary for him to counter Dolph Ziggler. But the one thing, if I could complain about something, I still don't know who Dean Ambrose is. He's there to serve as foil for Dolph Ziggler and to continue defining who Dolph Ziggler is. But I'm not seeing Dean Ambrose doing much of the work that it takes for him to establish who he is. And I would like to see a little bit more of that. And whether this feud continues or not, I want to see a little bit more out of Dean Ambrose. Just like Stone Cold, I want to see more.
Well, I mean, I think I want to see more out of both guys, and that's where this feud has lacked because you still can find an overarching issue with it in that you have guys Ambrose, who I didn't really feel was legitimately where he should be until he was already champion and had already pinned Rollins and Reigns. That's when I really feel like I can take Ambrose. Okay, this guy's the world champion. He beat two, but it's because he beat two other guys, not because of a lot of the stuff that he did. Whenever he does get free reign on the microphone, I think he does a really good job. And I think Dolph Ziggler was amazing in this promo. It's the best mic work of his WWE career, hands down. There's no second. Literally, I beg anyone to come up with another promo of Dolph Ziggler's other than something from these last few weeks that was ever better in his entire career. And albeit there hasn't been a whole lot of promos.
You probably find one on YouTube or WWE.com.
There really isn't even that many promos that he's ever cut, to be honest. He's not really a guy who's had a whole lot of mic time, but this promo was amazing. And after making one of the weirdest botches I've seen where you're going to kick your head off your face and your face off your head and your nose off your ears and your eyes off your mouth, whatever, I'm going to give him shit for that just because I can do that. But what he did after that, not only did it make up for it, but it was some of the most passionate mic work I've seen in a long, long time. And then the super kick to follow it was, it's unbelievable. I didn't even see it coming. That was out of nowhere. That we talk about this RKO shit out of nowhere. That was fucking out of nowhere, man. That was really out of nowhere. That was great. That was a great segment, and that's how you go home with a world title feud. I just wish Dolph Ziggler had been booked better over these last couple of years. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have the redemption story as much, but at least if he wasn't completely irrelevant, this redemption story would feel so much more validated and it would make so much more sense.
But you don't think
the fact that they're being real with who Dolph Ziggler is, I think that there is some validity to what's going on. And you
think it adds to the story, basically.
Yeah, that is the story. Dean Ambrose is saying that Dolph Ziggler is mediocre and he doesn't understand what it's like to be on the top of WWE. And you remember we actually talked about this on the show a few weeks ago, where I said there was someone in the comments. They said that Oh, Dolph Ziggler, he just wasn't performing at his best because the authority was holding him down and he didn't want to do his best. So that's why he didn't win until he got to SmackDown. Would you know that that's technically a part of the story now? Because Dolph Ziggler did this interview on WWE.com with Michael Cole, and he literally said, you keep going for that door and the door just won't open for you, and you see your bosses and you're wondering, why should I give them my best? And I said then, I'll say it now, it makes him seem like a fucking punk. Like, that's some punk ass BS right there. Oh, my bosses don't like me, so I'm not gonna give my best in the ring. But it's a part of the story now, and as long as they're not attempting to erase what Dolph Ziggler has been in WWE, then I'm fine with that.
Right, and see, a lot of my complaint only comes from the fact that this guy was like doing pre-shows. Like, he wasn't even like irrelevant or a mid-carder or a guy who just, you know, was like struggling to find his way, which is I see the story as being told that he's trying to find his way. It was worse than that. It was a lot worse than that. He literally was never on TV at all, practically, and whenever he was, it was for a couple minutes, and the character is like, I don't know if it's a Shawn Michaels tribute character or what I'm supposed to see out of this. And like, so, you know, that's where a lot of any complaint that I had about this story is that it's that him going into a world title match just feels weird, and it still does, and I don't think there was anything they could have done to make me truly say, you know what, Dolph Ziggler, this character, world title material. Dolph Ziggler, the wrestler and the talent, yes, he's world title material. I'll reiterate that over and over again just to make sure that anybody who thinks I'm saying something differently understands what I really am getting at, because I think Dolph Ziggler is a very talented guy, and I think that he does deserve this match. But the thing is, I wish that, yes, it was a redemption story. I don't mind that at all, but it's like, this isn't even redemption. Like, this guy literally isn't even coming out of left field. He's fucking coming from 3 miles away out of 8 left fields, you know? So I just think that, like, they did a good job of trying to make up ground in a short span of time. I think this story was told a lot better than a lot of us might have expected. So I applaud everything that I got here, but I'm still saying, I don't buy him going for a world title, and I don't think there's anything they were going to do in 4 weeks to make me buy that, based off what he was doing.
Even with all the seriousness that you've seen out of him?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that hasn't been great. Like, that's exactly what I am saying, is that it has been good. It's been a lot better than I would have expected, but it doesn't make up for 2 or 3 years of bad booking. You can't just erase 3 years of bad booking in 4 weeks. You can certainly make me take him more seriously, but I don't suddenly sit there and say to myself, yep, world title contender. Just doesn't happen like that.
You know, the reason why I like this feud so much is kind of why I said I wouldn't like it, which is weird and unexpected, because this is 2 underdogs going against each other, which I thought would not work, but for some reason it is working, and I think that's because of the way Ambrose and Ziggler are telling the story, which is a compliment to them. But it's interesting because I haven't seen this type of story in a long time, where you have 2 underdogs go against each other. And instead of them having a sort of kinship between them, like you might normally see, like when 2 great wrestlers who are underappreciated go up against each other, and there's just that honor there. This is different. Ambrose doesn't feel like he is in the same category as Dolph Ziggler, which is interesting. He's looking down on him, and he's sort of challenging him to rise up to the level that he is at.
I did like that element a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while, or at all. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I probably have, but I can't remember it.
And that has a lot to do with that validity that Jay's talking about. That's where that comes from, is that Dean Ambrose is literally, the character of Dean Ambrose is literally telling Dolph Ziggler's character, you haven't done shit in the last couple of years. And I'm the champion. I just beat the 2 most recent champions clean. So the story has been really good. Like, I'm not dissing the story at all. I'm looking at it completely away from everything that has happened and just saying, when I look at Dolph Ziggler's character, even after these 4 weeks, I still don't suddenly say, you know what, he's risen to the world title. I like the story they're telling me, though, in spite of that. So, like, I'm not complaining about it. I am just simply pointing out that you can't tell me that guy is a world title contender. That doesn't mean that the story is bad. In fact, I think it's a good story.
I agree with you. I'm not going to say he is, so that's not.
Right.
I disagree with that.
That's all I'm trying to say.
The funny thing is, Ambrose is newer than Ziggler, but yet Ambrose is being the veteran in this feud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one really cool thing that I liked about their exchange on SmackDown also was when Dean Ambrose was calling out Dolph Ziggler in this romanticized version that he has, or this romanticized vision that he has of being the champion in WWE, because he was talking about how, what do you expect when you win this championship, if you win this championship, like the criticism is not going to stop. It's still there. And he's speaking from his own perspective because I'm one of those critics. I talk a whole hell of a lot of trash about Dean Ambrose as the super duper Intercontinental champion now. And he did get an upgrade. But I like everything that they did with this storyline. I really enjoyed it on this episode of SmackDown. And it's changed my views on it. So
I'm excited to see.
Stuff.
I'm not necessarily excited to see the match because I've seen the match before, but I'm excited to see like how they book it because they can go one of two ways. Like, is Ambrose just gonna beat him clean, and if so, what is that gonna do to Ziggler? Is Ambrose gonna find out that Ziggler is a tougher opponent than he thought, and is he gonna have to like win dirty to beat him or something? Is Ziggler gonna win? Probably not, but.
What if he? I mean, I think what if he wins and turns heel as a
that could happen. I mean, I don't think it will, but it's not impossible.
Sure. Yeah, you don't know who. Like I said earlier, we don't know who has the darker side. Meaning that because both of these guys are just bashing the hell out of each other and dissing each other, it seems like one of them has to come out just breaking loose and eventually maybe turning heel. And you really don't know who to expect that out of because both Ambrose and Ziggler have shown that they're a bit desperate in this storyline here.
Well, I don't think Ambrose seems desperate. He seems like he's underestimating Ziggler a lot.
Well, he's showing a sign of cockiness and arrogance a bit, which is what I mean in terms of him. Maybe that's a hint of him turning heel, but we'll just have to wait and see on that.
Okay, so speaking of waiting and seeing, that's something that we didn't need to do to see the Demon in WWE because we got him on Monday Night
now
Raw.
We can talk about Saturday Morning Raw or whatever the hell we should call it.
What's that title called again?
What does that mean?
What's that title called again? What is it?
It's called the Universal.
Oh, that's such a stupid name. I still can't believe that's what they're naming.
The Warner Brothers Looney Tunes Universal Championship.
Yeah, it's a comic book
Are we really
title.
going there, Steven?
Hey, you're gonna call the other one the Super Duper
I was
title.
gonna say I find it ironic that Jay is calling the other one the Super Duper Intercontinental title, and then we got this Universal Championship, and we're gonna I will give that one a pass. Like, no, we are not gonna give that one a pass. That is still a terrible name.
It was never about the name of the.
That's what it is. It's a cartoonish name.
The reason why I call it the Super Intercontinental Championship was based off of the competitors.
Oh, I know.
These competitors are more valid. These competitors are more valid than the two that are facing off for the Raw side of things.
I don't know about that, but I do know.
I'm gonna give you an old Jamie Foxx for that. don't do that. Anybody who gets that reference, the Jamie Foxx show from the '90s, good on, You're awesome. But
the feud
Steven,
is
what the hell is up
been...
with this whole cartoon?
That's
Saturday
what it is. This
stuff?
is bullshit. The way it's being booked. Do you think this is good? It's like they're playing hide and seek. Where's the Demon King? This is the worst I've seen of Rollins. I mean, his promo the other week was good, but like in terms of, this is the worst I've seen of Rollins since he came back this last week. Where's the Demon King?
Yeah, that opening segment you're talking about, right? Where he's outside
talking
to himself.
He's doing it the whole day.
He's talking to himself, and I'm like, are you serious right now? This is how we're going to start off Raw? Seth Rollins talking to himself, asking where the king is, or the Demon King, or whatever?
Look, if you're going to say that what happened on Monday Night Raw was a hot-ass mess...
It was.
Concerning
I'm not saying that
Rollins
it was a mess.
No, I'll say it. Okay. I'll say it. I was about to say, if you're saying that, then you're not going to get an argument out of me. Because, hell, I thought it was a hot-ass mess. Yeah. Because when you look at Finn Balor, 99.9% of who he is rests in, his in-ring ability and also that demon character. If you take away the demon and you just get regular old Finn Balor, I'm quite sure you'd get a lot of complaints from people. But all of the story that's
I would like the other way around.
All of the story that's steeped in that demon character, WWE needed to do a damn good job of protecting that, and I don't feel as if they protected it at all on Raw, because I looked at the segment with Balor and Rollins, and I looked at the physicality between the two. There was not much of a difference there versus what happened in the segment 2 weeks ago. And the fact that we even got the demon on Raw, I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, no suspense, everything on the main roster just damn right there in your freaking face. No subtlety, nothing at all. And I just sat there and I shook my head like.
And they have no excuses. They have no excuses, because if Ambrose and Ziggler were able to pull it off in an amazing feud for the last month, then why can't Raw do the same thing with Balor and Seth Rollins? So they really have no excuses there.
Because Seth Rollins is a cartoon character, and so is Finn Balor apparently.
This feud just doesn't make any sense. It's a mid-card feud. That's what it is.
Well, the thing is, there really isn't that much sense to be had here. There really isn't anything predicating this feud. They're crowning the first ever Universal Champion.
But they can still tell a better story.
Finn Balor won a match to get to face Seth Rollins, and now the story has just been whatever loose ends they've tried to tie up with that, which they don't have anything to go on because there's no history, there's no... there's not a lot there with these two. This is like the first building block of what could be a Seth Rollins and Finn Balor program. So to me, like, I did not go into this with expectations of, oh my god, this has to be some, like, intense, unbelievable, crazy feud. And I actually think we got a really good promo a couple weeks ago that some people were dissing, and I still don't understand why.
That was a great promo.
That was a great promo.
I feel like this week undid that shit.
This week was the weakest... No question. But, I mean, I even liked last week. I liked when we got an inner look at Finn Balor, and we got Seth Rollins with the solo promo that I thought was fire. I thought he was great in that. And then this week, yeah, matters don't get any better when some random fan, I guess, ran in the ring during Rollins' segment. That was an awkward-ass moment. And then they have Cole come over the headset and say, oh, he's in a trance. I'm like, shut the fuck up. This is stupid. I'm just going to be blunt. That was fucking stupid. But that was Vince. That was Vince. It was in the headset. Tell him he's in a trance.
No, because I know what they tried to do there. They didn't want to say, oh my god, somebody just jumped in the ring and tried to attack Seth Rollins.
Well, of course they're not going to say that.
The more you promote that kind of stuff, the more it encourages people to do it. So they couldn't address it. They had to make some kind of excuse as to why Seth Rollins was standing there looking dumb.
Okay, well...
This was the go-home show. Keep that in mind, people. This was the go-home show heading into SummerSlam, and that's how this feud is going to... Well, not end, but that's how the first half of this feud is going to end heading into SummerSlam with that little ending.
Well, it was a go-home angle, but, that's not the part I'm claiming... That's not the part I'm complaining about. I'm complaining about the fact that the Demon was even on Raw at all, because he shouldn't have been.
It sucked.
That didn't bother me that much.
That did bother me. That was the reason I didn't like it, was because there's no reason to give away Finn Balor's Demon when the whole point of him being the Demon was to, like, unlock another side of Finn Balor. That's what they've been telling us, and that's what he has been all about ever since he's been in NXT, and then they give it away on Raw when, like Jay mentioned, I mentioned the same type of thing myself. Is like they could have had us have hints that the Demon was there, but we didn't actually see him with our own eyes. We feel his presence, but we don't necessarily need to see him.
I don't think you said,
Jay.
Go ahead.
I'm just piggybacking off of what Jay said because I agree with it so wholeheartedly. Like, high five. Like, I fucking 100% feel you. When you said what you said on Twitter about I can't differentiate between this and what happened 2 weeks ago when Balor and Rollins brawled in the ring in the same style.
That's the part I do agree with, but I don't think the problem is that they put out the face paint. I think that I don't know. I think it should have been more subtle. Like he could have appeared with the Demon face paint, but I don't know if the brawl was necessary. I feel like he should have just been intimidating.
Then what would he have done if he appeared with the face?
I don't know. Scare the shit out of. Do something creative, like do a Sting or an Undertaker type thing with this guy. Not don't give him magical powers, but make him like sort of illusory, evasive. I mean, I don't know. They could have gotten creative.
I don't think there's a win situation in this when it involves the Demon King.
I don't see why not.
What they could have done was Or if what you're saying is you don't see a win with the demon actually appearing, then I'll agree with you there. But
yeah,
what
I do. I
was,
see plenty of things that they could have done.
No, you can't.
It wouldn't have been effective.
Regular TV.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been effective. It can't.
The demon is not as
you
great as your.
You
He's
need
just
to
a
protect the
face
damn
paint.
character. You got to protect the character.
Because
to
you guys
me,
like Finn Balor a lot more than I do.
Because I think that the major thing here is that you're anticipating that the demon will be there. And I know some people were saying something about, oh, not everybody's a hardcore fan, so this is an introduction to that character, blah blah blah. But it's like
it's the same thing to me though.
See, I don't feel that way at all, because to me, like I think that if we keep saying on TV that there is a different version of Finn Balor and we're laying it out and spelling it out to you,
yeah, you gotta be a dumbass not to listen to that and know something.
Right, like the presence is there. It's literally unfolding in front of your eyes. You don't actually have to see it with your eyes. You can just get the teaser and then you say, oh, you know what? I should unload my $9.99 into the network this weekend and watch SummerSlam. That's a fucking...
I really gotta see. You know, they're talking about this demon. I need to see what's going on here.
Yeah, it's a business tactic. So
that sounds a little bit, I don't know. It sounds fishy to me.
Yeah, okay, I get
it sounds
what you guys
fishy.
are saying.
That's the damn foundation of the wrestling industry.
But the problem is the regular Finn Balor sucks, so I don't know what you're gonna do.
That I agree with.
I say you give him the demon every week, because that's the only part I'm interested in, is the stupid demon.
Does it really make that big of a difference, though, Steven? Demon, King, and Finn Balor?
If you show the demon every week, then it doesn't matter. Like the whole fucking the whole thing, the whole premise is when it's time for a great battle, that's when we show the demon. That's when the demon
I get
appears.
it, but I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. I think I'm just not into Finn Balor. Like I said on Twitter, I don't really.
Yeah,
do anything
that's it.
I feel like they blew their load the first time he did this on NXT. Like I was like, wow, that's awesome. And the second time, I'm like, whatever, seen it.
Like we always say, mainstream audience, NXT audience, two completely different things. It's going to take much more than just a Demon King to get over with the crowd. I'm telling you that right now.
It seems as if the crowd likes Finn Balor already.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even what I'm arguing here.
When there's an arena with
pretty good.
When there's an arena with 20,000 people and most of them are throwing their hands up in the sky every time he does that, I mean, I think I think
those
that
are
tells
the people
you a
that watch
lot.
NXT.
Well, so is that everybody then? Because that's most of the arena
every
was.
Week, though. That's not every week.
You can't tell me that most arenas wouldn't have chanted "Holy shit" at that too, because most people, even if they hadn't seen the demon before, now they see this and they're like, "Holy shit, that's crazy." That would have happened at SummerSlam, on Raw, on SmackDown, whatever. It didn't matter. Like even if people aren't familiar with it,
that's based off of visuals too. Like anybody, whether you saw Finn Balor for the first time or the 50th time, you're gonna go crazy over that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Look how cool he looks.
See, that's where I disagree. I don't go crazy over it. These days, I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but I've seen it.
You're not even an NXT viewer, so
but that's the point.
Not anymore. But I watched Balor.
It's not just about the NXT viewers. It's not just about the NXT viewers.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. Steven is in the position. He said himself he saw it for the first time in NXT, and they blew their load, and it's over. I am not putting Steven, a person who is already familiar with who Finn Balor is, in the same boat as someone who's never seen the demon before. Those are two completely different
people. So I get what you're saying.
If you have people in the audience who've never seen the demon before, why would you expect that they wouldn't go insane from seeing something like that? It looks fucking good. Like, even before you get to the story, it looks cool.
It looks cool, but I don't know. I don't... See, to me, the whole Balor, like I said last week, I feel like the whole thing about him is that he has a cool entrance and some cool face paint. I don't know if that's going to sustain a mega star that they.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, it takes more than that.
I mean, he's a great wrestler too, but okay, so is Seth Rollins, so is AJ Styles, so are a lot to people. I don't know.
And in fact, I likes all of them. So,
yeah, but
what are we saying?
I think the best example to try to to try to come from where Steven's coming from, I think the best example you could use is like a Neville. Like, he's an awesome wrestler.
Yeah, Neville's a good wrestler too. It's like,
that's it.
And his
he
entrance
has
is
a
cool.
better finisher too than Balor.
And his entrance is cool too. People go nuts for his entrance. So you know.
Well, no, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, not to that
It
level,
is pretty
but
cool though.
You know what? I think Lucas and Steven, you guys need to separate yourself. Like, anytime Lucas tries to jump on your bandwagon, Steven, you need to push him off because he keeps talking about the crowd.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. I think the entrance is like the only good thing. I'm not impressed by it. I mean, I am, but I don't go like, "Wow, that's awesome" anymor. But
I just don't
great.
understand. And I'm not saying any of you guys have said this. I know Lucas made a comment on Twitter about Balor being skinny or whatever.
I saw that BS,
I've heard
that skinny NXT guy.
He looks like.
I just gotta say that the guy that he's facing isn't even that much bigger in any way, shape, or form. So yet everyone loves him and takes him.
Yeah, but then why does he look like such a bitch next to Rollins?
I don't see that same when I saw them standing next to each other. I don't see that difference. Like, Rollins is what, 15 pounds heavier than him.
I don't know what it is,
wet with a brick in his pocket. I mean, like, come on, man! Like, he's like 2 inches taller and like 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah, but the numbers is not what I'm concerned about.
I look at those two and they look pretty much the same to me.
You probably want to see more out of the Demon, or want to see them utilize the Demon in a different way. So much so that when you look at the regular Finn Balor, it's like, that's not enough.
To me, he doesn't give much. Like, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. And that's okay. It worked in NXT from what I saw. Like you said, I'm not a really watcher anymore, but I did watch for like the first few months that Balor was there. No, not 2 weeks. For the first few months that Balor was there, and like, it works because NXT is such a like, it doesn't have the larger than life feeling. That's kind of why we like it. It's kind of an underground sort of tight knit show, so it works to have Balor there. But like, when you have such a big arena and you have this regular guy in the ring, it just doesn't do anything for me. And then the Demon does, so that's, I mean, I like the Demon. That's true. It works. But that's why I'm saying they got to figure out something new to do, because I don't think it's going to translate 100%. I think the character needs some tweaking. You got to do something with the Demon, something with Balor that's more edgy than just what the guy who commented on the video said, that he's a white meat baby face with a twist. I mean, you could have the twist, but I don't want the white meat babyface part from Balor. That's not what I'm looking for in him.
When it comes to the whole conversation about size and Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, I'm going to keep saying this until people get tired of it. Finn Balor went toe-to-toe with Samoa Joe, and it worked.
And people didn't complain about the size difference.
Yes, so I'll be damned if I sit here and accept this conversation over fucking Seth Rollins.
The reason why,
big cock diesel.
The reason why
Gregor Clegane.
No, let me tell you why. Is because when you go up against Samoa Joe, that's what I want. I want Joe to make you look like a little bitch.
You want the underdog versus the top.
Yeah,
but that is not the story they told, though.
It's not
from a person who watched NXT.
Yeah,
Corey Graves sat on commentary.
I didn't like
said
it.
Godzilla versus King Kong.
And I thought that was stupid. I thought Joe should have killed Balor in the first few matches. Instead, it took him like 3 matches to win. But whatever.
I'm just saying, like, WWE isn't UFC, isn't MMA, where like we have.
Sure, I agree with you, but
I'm just saying, like, people are looking at this like, oh my god, he's 2-3 inches taller, he's 15,
but Evan,
20,
there's a
30
reason,
pounds heavier.
There's a reason
but
why
you people also don't complain when it's Daniel Bryan versus fucking Brock Lesnar.
Because Bryan
the
is
same.
exciting. Bryan is exciting. Bryan is exciting to watch.
This isn't about excitement. This is about height and weight. We're talking height and fucking weight.
No, I brought up the size because he not only is he small, but he's also not as good as the other small guys. That's why I brought it up.
If we're talking size and...
Are we still talking about Finn Balor?
Yes.
But it's part of Daniel Bryan's character that he's a little guy. That's part of the package.
Okay, and yet they're not telling that story with Finn Balor, but we're okay with him facing Samoa Joe, and we're not okay with him facing Seth Rollins, even though he's closer in height and weight to Seth Rollins.
I'm okay with it.
I just don't get that. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of people who are like like rallying to see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. Myself included, I actually really wanted to see that match.
I do
but
too.
if it was Finn Balor, I'd want to see that match too. Like,
yeah, me
really?
too. Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar, I agree. But like the difference is Brock is supposed to make everyone else look like a little bitch. That's what I'm saying. That's the story. It's like the big guy versus the small guy.
But I'm just saying that like people are making this out to be like Finn Balor should not be facing Seth Rollins. He doesn't belong in the same ring. But yet but then. Now we're gonna say Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar do belong in the same ring, and it's like, wait a minute, what? Like if we're basing this solely on height and weight alone, that fucking
that's
makes
not what
zero
I'm
sense.
basing it on. I'm basing
all right,
it on.
but a lot of people are, so I'm just trying to make it like clear as day.
Let me just clarify really quick what it is that's bothering me. So Daniel Bryan, compared to Brock Lesnar, is in a different class of size altogether. So you expect him to look smaller. Same thing with Balor versus Lesnar. I would be saying the same thing. I don't mind seeing that. But Balor and Rollins are in the same sort of class. So when two guys in the same class, when one of the guys in that class looks a lot smaller, then I feel like this is kind of strange. And it's not even the smallness factor. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just he looks very plain next to Rollins without the makeup. You know, it's just, I don't know what it is. But whatever.
Should he get like a blonde swoop on the side?
I don't know. I'm just saying you be more strategic, what I said last week. I'm not saying Balor has no business being there. I'm just saying, like, you gotta play to his strengths and hide these, like, little things that don't make him look like a star. Like, to me, you gotta
put him on a crate, like...
Well, like
they put them,
crate, like
Thomas Phillips?
Steven, they basically put him in a position where it's too soon because he's still brand new. So now he's obviously going to go through the struggles. He's going to go through the struggles.
See, you and me are not on the same page. We're not on the same page.
I'm not saying we're on the same page. I'm just saying that this is all a factor into all of this. He's new as well. That has a lot to do with it too. He's, in my opinion, it does. He's new. They put him in a position where he's main eventing one of the big 4 pay-per-views, SummerSlam, and how is he even main eventing? Because, you know, what's really going to main event SummerSlam here? Let's be honest about that.
How about Balor versus Reigns would have been better?
I just find it funny that the size equation, like the fact that people even mention it in situations like this, yet don't in others. It's just like, so we're only going to mention it because, why? Because it's Finn Balor? Like, what is... I just wonder what the motivation is.
I have nothing against Balor. I just think
like, it's amazing me how many people are just like, oh my god, like, Finn Balor's small. Like, Daniel Bryan was smaller and you wanted him to win the title. Like, oh, because he's better? Like, but like... Okay, then say it's because he's better, not because that Finn Balor's small. Don't use... That's not the same
Look at the picture I linked, and Jake could put the picture up, and just look at it. I don't know. Maybe just keep telling
me. That's nothing.
I don't think that's a good picture at all.
My God. This is what we're
about.
Complaining over?
That's what I'm complaining about.
Yeah. That's unreal.
What?
I see what he's talking about.
He sees what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Nothing.
They almost look like they're the same height. They're like 2 inches apart.
It's not the height. He just looks
look at
like
the faces. Look at the faces.
Look at the faces, man.
Rollins the faces. What the hell are you guys talking about?
Rollins looks like he's teaching Finn Balor a lesson.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Well, the audience has no idea what picture we're talking about.
This is...
Wow, I think we just... we're on another universe right now.
It looks like Finn Balor is like a created wrestler and he's in the same... I don't know, man. I just don't like it.
He looks like he's in Bizarro World.
I just find it funny because if it was Daniel Bryan and someone said that, then you'd be defending the opposite viewpoint of saying, no, Daniel Bryan does belong in the same
I get what you're saying. And I'm not saying...
That's my argument in a nutshell.
I'm not saying that my argument is like a logical argument because like I said last time, it's not really. It's just the way it strikes me. It's just an aesthetic thing to me. So I'm not saying like I'm completely right about this. I could be like the outlier here, so that's fine. But it looks like that to me.
You are.
I don't know.
Definitely are.
Whatever.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic. This is buy or sell. This time around, we have Rusev and Roman Reigns. So they main evented Monday Night Raw in a match that had Lana's honor on the line. So I guess we can go ahead and give props to Roman Reigns for being the Lana's honor champion.
Yeah, defending
WWE.
Lana's honor.
Yeah.
I hate this feud. I sell it before you even finish it. Go ahead.
Why do you hate it?
I'll tell you. I just finish it first.
Okay, so was having this match on Raw effective build for their match at SummerSlam? Steven, before even hearing the question, sells it. You know,
I sell everything.
now-
I hate this feud so much.
I'm gonna sell it as well. Like I did this match, even though it was a good match, like I didn't need to be convinced that Roman Reigns and Rusev could have a good match together. So this really didn't do anything for me to get me to anticipate them meeting each other again in the ring just 6 days later at SummerSlam. So I sell it too.
In the interest of keeping this quick, because we went on such a long tangent. Yeah,
I have to rant about this whole feud.
Please save us. Please save us the time, Steve, because I don't even want to talk about this damn feud.
So you agree with me?
Yes, like
Yeah.
I was liking the feud, and then this week happened, and
I
this
never
was
liked
a
the
kill.
feud.
For me, this was a killer for this feud because we got the entire fucking match. So sell, easy.
Wait,
sell.
are you selling just what happened this week or the whole build-up?
I won't sell the entire build up, but I'm definitely this week's build to me hurt what happened the weeks prior.
Okay.
All right, everyone say their piece so I could go off on this shit.
I mean, I'm done.
I'm selling it too.
Okay. Well, look, this undid everything that was established with Reigns in the AJ Styles feud. And if you don't see that, I think you should look a bit closer because, like Jay said, that feud put Reigns in a position that he should be in. He should be the sort of tweener who's kind of a subtle heel, who's not a complete heel because that's generic and boring, but we have like a little subtle jackass who's a beast, right? This is the Reigns from Magic Beans era. Without the promos haven't been as bad, but it's still the same sort of tempo, right? He comes in, he crashes the wedding, he starts being a pretty boy, chill guy, walking around the ring trying to be The Rock, and saying stupid shit that doesn't even make any sense. Like Lana's gonna have ugly babies. Like, what are you talking about? Have you seen Lana? Are you trying to insult Lana? I mean, I guess you're trying to insult Rusev, but it's not like he's completely okay. Whatever. This is a step back, a huge step back, not just for Reigns but for everyone. Because now we're gonna I'll talk about this more when the tier list comes out. But like, now that Reigns is on the same level as Rusev, now I don't really get what the fuck is going on with these tiers anymore. Do they even exist? Because this is the guy that was beating everyone, and I get he's being punished, kinda, even though he closed the show, even though he's in the spotlight still, but I don't know, this doesn't do him any favors. He's just back to being the same, like, pseudo-rock wannabe.
And he wins clean. Like, what? I mean, why would you have the whole match play out and have a clean finish?
The match itself was stupid, but I think that goes without saying, because we could all see, like, why did they just blow this match? Like that. And then I love the rationale that they use. Like when Mick Foley said it, you could tell that the backstage when they were making this, they're like, okay, we're gonna give it away. What's special about this match? It's like, well, this is for Lana's honor. Oh, okay, so that makes it different, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's all stupid. This is the worst thing that Reigns could have been doing. I mean, why not put him with Cesaro or Sami Zayn so he could continue what he was doing with AJ in some fashion?
Well, you said this was a setback for everyone. This isn't a setback for the Roman Reigns haters, and I think that it exposes them too as frauds. They're some fucking scammers, because if you sit back and you like what's going on with Roman Reigns now, and you were one of the ones talking about how corny and shitty he was when he was going out there giving... There were people.
So there are people who liked this but didn't like Reigns before. What?
Yeah.
What?
And the reason is it exposes them because the issue was never with the characterization of Roman Reigns. It was just with his placement on the card.
Right.
So they're willing to accept a whole hell of a lot more from him now that he's not competing for a world championship. And that's pretty much it. Like, they're cool with what we're getting right now, and they won't give credit to Roman Reigns and that damn feud with AJ Styles. I'm going to keep caping for that one, because that one needs to be remembered. But, yeah, it pretty much exposes the haters.
Well, Jay, do you see what I'm saying?
Winning.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because don't you see that this is, like, such a step down from what he was? Like, this is a reversion back to, like, his Big Show self.
I'm right there with you. I
Okay,
am.
I'm just
I
checking.
wouldn't necessarily say it's that bad.
No, it's not. It's not
but
that bad, but it's still like
this
the
is
same
not the
sort
Roman
of
Reigns that
character.
I want.
Exactly.
This
right.
isn't the Roman Reigns I want.
Right.
The ironic thing about all of this is the fact that Roman Reigns is still main eventing Raw despite being in such a crappy storyline.
I know, it's so stupid.
That's
like
that's
I
the
would,
ironic
I would
thing,
have
and it
just
goes to show
preferred him
you.
in the main events because I would
Yeah.
rather see Balor and Reigns.
Yeah, or Reigns and Rollins again. But
Wow, I don't know about
it's but it's ironic because this just goes to show you how much of star power Roman Reigns actually has, no matter what placement he is on any card.
Well, according to Vince, he does, and I'm on board with that. Like I'm all for like punishing people who do bad things, but it's kind of like a case where you're punishing me now because you're confusing the hell out of me. You just gave me this Reigns push, and now he's in the mid card. Like what?
Which, let's be honest, he'll probably be back in the main event by next month.
Yeah.
See, I'm okay with this demotion because I actually think it was a good direction for him to move in. Like, because I don't know what the hell else he was going to do at SummerSlam unless he went. If he wasn't going to main event,
I just gave you two better options. Right?
I understand that, but I'm saying like if he's not going for this Universal Championship, what the hell else is he going to do?
Well, like I said, Cesaro or Zayn would have been great. Could have gotten him over and the other guy.
I mean, this is good for
Doing
Rusev,
anything?
though. This has done a lot for Rusev, though, and I will admit that. It might not
Yeah.
be doing anything for Roman, but it's doing a lot for Rusev.
I think
Yeah,
it was
a
fine
little
to.
bit.
I think it was fine for him to go for the U.S. title. I just think that they undid any good things they did by just giving you the entire match for free on TV. Like, I'm sorry, but any anticipation I had for this match, not to say I had a lot, but if any I did have is gone now. I saw an entire
only
match
way-
top to bottom.
the
What else
only
are they
way-
going to do on Sunday except have a different type of finish? Like, okay, but the whole match is going to play out the same way.
Well, that's what I was about to say. The only way this can all be saved is if on Sunday they make a stipulation and they make it like a no-holds-barred match or something like that. Then that'll be interesting, and then that'll make sense why they gave this match away on Raw. But if it's just going to be the exact same match, there really was no purpose. But I'm not putting it past WWE to be that smart and actually put a stipulation on this and give us something different on Sunday.
It is different. This is for the U.S. title. That was for Lana's honor.
That was for the honor of Lana. I'm sorry.
Which, by the
different
way,
match.
if it was for the honor of Lana, why didn't Roman Reigns walk out with her?
That's what I'm saying.
Or at least spear her or something. Come on, this is a new era, man.
Right.
All
I
right.
was totally about to make a joke right there, but I'm not. Gonna move on to our next topic in buy or sell, Heath Slater. So we're seeing this storyline play out, the saga of Heath Slater trying to get a contract on Raw or SmackDown. We saw him on Raw in a segment with Brock Lesnar. He got beat up. Then he went over to SmackDown, had a match with Randy Orton, got beat up there as well. Then he was presented with a contract for SmackDown, but he didn't end up signing the contract because he got his ass whooped so badly that he was incoherent and he thought he was still over on Monday Night Raw. He thought Shane was Stephanie and Daniel Bryan was Mick Foley. So a lot of stuff going on with Heath Slater right now. The buy or sell that I'm going to be throwing at you guys right now, with him being in segments with main eventers and with this unique storyline with him being the quote-unquote hottest free agent, or self-described hottest free agent in wrestling today, do you buy or sell there being value in the way that WWE is utilizing Heath Slater?
I'm buying it.
Same. I buy this.
Yeah, I'm buying the hell out of it too.
Yes, this is a good comedy angle.
It's cool.
I just don't get why it's cannibalizing main events. Why did Heath Slater take up like 5 minutes of Brock's time?
But that's
don't
exactly
know.
why it's so
There
cool,
wouldn't
because
have been much going on outside of Heath Slater.
It was just going to be
in
the
that
same
segment.
standard
Yeah.
payment promo, so...
and that's what's cool about it. Like,
guess.
holy crap, Heath Slater actually interrupted Brock Lesnar, and they gave him time too. Because normally,
Yeah.
if they weren't taking this seriously, it would have just been Heath Slater getting in the
Yeah,
ring
but I
right
don't
away.
get it because if it's a comedy gimmick, then you don't give him time with Brock Lesnar. Is it
Well,
supposed
I
to be
mean-
like? Is it a comedy gimmick? Because that's what I thought it was,
I
but
th-
now
I
I feel
think
like
it's-
it's
I
getting
think it's
too,
morphing into something else.
it's
now.
getting too
Yeah, it is.
emotional.
I
It
think
is.
I think it's a structured comedy angle. Like it's not just like haha this is hilarious.
It's
like,
actually telling a story as well.
right. Like he's actually going for this. Like I mean I'm just saying it shows a lot. If Heath Slater's character in kayfabe would go out into the ring with the same guy who ended Undertaker's streak, destroyed John Cena. I mean, this is the toughest goddamn character, the top of the kayfabe tier list, whatever you want to call him, the king of the damn mountain. Brock Lesnar, and he goes in the ring with him. So, I mean, that shows so much in this character, comedy gimmick or not.
That's the part that I don't like, because I'm confused now. Like, is it... Because if it's a comedy character, I don't agree with giving him the Brock Lesnar segment. If it's not a comedy character, then you better make sure that this follows up. Heath Slater better be like... it better not be he gets the contract and then just jobs, because that's... You just wasted my time.
Did you really see it as comical though? Because I got the impression that Heath Slater was actually like trying.
No, which is why I'm confused.
But what he said in his promo, actually, you know, it wasn't that comical. He was actually talking about making a living.
That's why I'm fucking confused now, because like I thought it was.
It's transforming into something serious. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I think that what it is it's supposed to be comedy, but Heath Slater is too good that it's just not coming across that way.
Well, he's getting what he deserves, which is more time.
Right.
Either way, he's taking something, whether WWE views it as, haha, we're going to make Slater look like a fucking idiot. Even
that's
if that's
what I think it is.
Even if
not
that's
because they don't like him, because they just
right, like
funny.
even if that's what they're saying though, he is taking the fucking ball and running with it, because
yeah,
he
but
is
I remember
making me like
last
him
guy
more.
who did that. Where's
Who
he
was,
now?
Who was the last guy that did that?
He won a championship at WrestleMania, didn't he?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
I didn't know, because there's like 10 guys who could fit that description. So.
I'm talking about the guy who was given a comedy angle and took the ball.
Damien Sandow?
Oh, Sandow? Yes,
Where
he
is
did.
He's in TNA
He's
now.
with TNA.
Yeah, I know. Which I feel bad for him.
But point be given, at least he's getting what he fucking deserves, which is some time on TV. So I gotta give WWE props for doing that, even if they're not doing it for the reason that I'm liking it. At least it's happening.
I like
I
it too, and
say.
I approve of it. I'm just afraid that it's gonna end like the other one ended. He's gonna get the contract, and then he's just gonna be seen again to job like Sandow was. Like, it's no payoff, but we'll see. I mean, even the alternative doesn't make sense. Like, okay, let's say there is a payoff. Now I'm invested in Heath Slater. I just feel odd about that.
Alrighty, our next topic we're going to be discussing for Buy or Sell, AJ Styles and the John Cena feud. We saw them on Monday Night Raw. John Cena had a match with Alberto Del Rio, his last match for a while. John Cena had a match with Alberto Del Rio, and then after the match, AJ attacked Cena, but then Cena ended up getting the upper hand and attacked AJ, and yeah, a few things happened on the show. Got a few attitude adjustments, yada, yada, yada. The buy or sell that I have for you with the final sell with that John Cena promo that we saw, I know there were some reservations about the direction that this feud was going in and the ending of Money in the Bank, the match that those two had. So do you buy or sell that the AJ Styles and John Cena feud has recovered from the setback that they experienced in the finish of the Money in the Bank match?
No, it's dead. This feud absolutely has no momentum right now, in my opinion.
I think that the most momentum it's seen since Money in the Bank was this episode of SmackDown. The way Cena AA'd Styles through the table at the end, I thought was a really cool way to finish. I think that was if there was a good prototypical, like, hey, this is how you go home with a feud that you want people to care about, that's really good. The problem is, like, in between, there was only one other segment that ever stood out with these two between Money in the Bank, or since Money in the Bank or Battleground or wherever we're talking from, that I even can remember, and that's the promo, with Styles and Cena, the one that Lucas and I debated about and everything, and it brought out a lot of thoughts from everybody because it was actually a good promo. But other than that one promo and Cena putting Styles through the announce table, this feud has really not had a whole lot going on for it. So personally, I gotta sell the idea that it has, like, rebounded, because it was really good, and then Money in the Bank happened, and I was disappointed by the finish of that match, and then we've had good moments in between, but then we get the 6-man tag at Battleground, and it was, I don't know, it just felt like a cheaper way to have Cena beat Styles just without an actual one-on-one match, and then now we're getting that last, quote-unquote rubber match, I guess you could say, and I'm very much so looking forward to it, but I'm sitting here feeling like I don't know. It is missing something. The only match out of the ones that they've had that I felt like a lot going into was that Money in the Bank match. So it hasn't really recovered, so I have to sell.
I know what it's missing.
Hoodies in the chat is saying this is the best feud in WWE at the moment, for better or for worse. That's definitely for worse, because if this is the best feud, goddamn.
That is not the best feud.
This has ceased to be a feud. This is not a feud anymore. Like this
feels like it's been going on all year long, which ironically enough it hasn't been. And I don't know what the hell has happened over the last 2 months, but yeah, this is hard to recover from, so I'm selling this too. I agree with Evan in that the finish to SmackDown this week with Cena putting him through the table, that was probably the most effective thing they've done on SmackDown, but that's not enough to really recover from the whole storyline. It's been awful.
To me, AJ Styles really took some hits. Like, the only time I was interested in AJ Styles was in the match where he showed so much personality, as we talked about. But right now, I don't know what AJ Styles is fighting for. I don't get why he wanted this match in the first place. I think, this is my opinion, I think he should have turned back face when he lost the club and said, you know what, I had a bit of a fucking tantrum there, but I really want to beat Cena clean. Not in those words, that's a boring way to put it. But I think AJ should be saying, okay, you know what, I snuck a win last time, but I want to show everyone that I could actually beat you. Because right now, I don't see what they're fighting for. What is Cena fighting for, and what is AJ fighting for? I don't know. They didn't establish that for me.
AJ is fighting to find out why John Cena is still in WWE.
Right,
Solution to the fucking problem. He says, why are you still in WWE? Because I love being here.
Yeah,
okay.
AJ's character right now is shit. I think he needs to turn back face. ASAP. That's just my opinion.
I think that was the problem too, the fact that he was a heel and they booked him to be a generic bad guy.
That's fine when he has the club, but I don't know what he's doing now. He didn't even he's not even really clarifying what his goals are. I don't.
Yeah, what he has to say has been kind of weird, but the way he says it, I like a lot. I still am a big fan of AJ Styles as a heel. I do like the way
it's pretty good.
The way he carries himself, but what he is saying, the substance is what's touching.
Yeah,
you know?
The substance, it just doesn't sell me, and I get it. Yeah.
Okay, and for the final discussion on the show tonight, we're going to be talking about Del Rio and Paige, because on the very same day, they both got hit with wellness policy violations, and they've been suspended for 30 days. And apparently, they're a couple.
What is going on with that? That's weird to me.
Yeah, I don't keep up with this stuff. If it's not on Total Divas, then I don't give a fuck. But I went to the gutter of the IWC, the Wrestling Inc. comment sections, and apparently they're a hot topic there where they just gossip about them. But like the old saying goes, the couple that strays together stays together, and they strayed away from rules and regulations, and they get to spend the next 30 days together.
Who didn't see this coming? They violated the wellness policy.
Well, no, but
I
what
didn't.
What did they?
How could you expect?
Yeah,
this
what are
to
you talking
happen?
about? How do you?
Well, them getting into trouble.
Why would they get into
what
trouble?
did they do though? I'm serious.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Apparently, you got to read up on the gossip. Apparently, it's this is bad juju. Del Rio and Paige, it's a lot of drama surrounding them.
During Del Rio's match last night, he looked really unhappy too. I think that was definitely I went back and saw a highlight of that match and was you know what? He looked really not into that match at all. I mean, I wasn't into the match either because I've seen Del Rio versus Cena umpteen million trillion zillion times, so I wasn't into it either. But I mean, he just seemed like he was already PO'd about something.
Del Rio's always pissed about something. You know what? It's about time he stops feeling so entitled, because this is the second time he gets into trouble. What was it? 2 years ago, he smacked somebody and got himself into trouble.
Yeah,
WWE
but that was,
gives him
that was justified.
That guy deserved that.
But still, I mean, he comes back. They give him a second opportunity, and he gets himself into trouble again. Come on now. This is a guy here who's an experienced veteran. It's not like he's some rookie. He's not in his 20s. He's nearing his 40s, and he's messing up.
I don't even understand what they did. Is this a new thing where couples juice together? Why? How did they both get suspended?
Did they were popping pills together in the bus?
But the fact that we're talking about this, the fact that we're talking about
sexually
this,
transmitted?
They had to do something together, whether it was a party and getting high to get something happened. You know?
Maybe that was it.
And Paige is crazy. Man. You know, that's why I'm saying this was bound to happen, something like this, because Paige is no good. She's no bueno.
Well,
Paige is no good.
But I gotta say, like, I'm not gonna notice this suspension at all. Like, Del Rio, even if they didn't even announce it, they didn't say a word about it, right? I wouldn't have noticed that Del Rio or Paige was gone because Paige isn't even on TV and Del Rio is barely used too.
And
like,
you want to know why she's not on TV? It's probably because she's a
no
little
good.
bit up there. Yeah, she's no good. So that's
no
why
good.
I saw this coming.
I don't know what do you have against Paige. Did Paige like dump you or something? Like did she like what happened?
She's
that young
crazy.
lady is trouble, man.
Yeah. She's gonna get every man in that locker room that she dates in trouble. I'm telling you.
She seems
There's
irresponsible.
Some deeper story to this.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta get the lowdown.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about this after we get off of air. But that's it for this episode of PWF Empire Live, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We got some more stuff coming later on in the week. Once again, Cass was in the chat losing his mind. I look forward to hearing what that was all about.
What did we do now?
Our podcast.
Oh, we made fun of AJ Styles.
It's usually
and by the way,
you.
I heard him name drop me on that show last week. So you know what, Cass?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it because I might just surprisingly call in or something.
If Cass is pissed off 9 times out of 10, it's something you did, Lucas.
All right.
So.
Well, I look forward to that.
Well, it's the same thing with the whole audience.
I'll take all of them on, baby. One versus all.
Okay, and I'm just standing back because I'm not getting involved in this one. I'm just gonna look to see the beatdown. Because you do know what happened in that one versus all match. The one lost. So. But that's it for this episode of PWF Empire Live. Be on the lookout for all of the things that are going to be coming as we head into SummerSlam this week. And that's it for the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you later. Peace.